Good morning. It is 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, April 22nd. All right. Hope you guys caught some moves yesterday. We called them out pretty on point. Was really a beautiful day if you're looking for movement. But all right, so let's go down. We got to cover some stuff. Today is Friday, Lotto Friday. So let's check it out. Who's out there? Moses, what's up, buddy? What's up, Moses and James? All right, cool. What's up, guys? I'm just going to check real quick if there's any news that just came out right now. Let's check out Walter Bloomberg. Futures are climbing a little bit right now. Putin tells me not ready to see mutual or something. Okay. Unveil a new COVID-19 containment plan. Okay, all right. So China's continuing to go on lockdown. Putin's not gonna, and the Fed's in trouble. All right. So let's get to it. Let's see what's going down here. Let me add to the streams. So right off the bat, we know that the futures dropped a little bit. Futures are down still, trying to climb right now. Nasdaq trying to climb a little bit more. Oil's down about 102. That should help the markets. That's a little bit of positivity. And the 10-year note is down a little bit down from 3%. But remember, just about maybe a month ago, we were at 1.5. So we've climbed pretty significantly here. Biggest move. Okay, cool. All right, so right off the bat, let's just go into the moves here. Tesla. So today's a pretty easy, simple day for me. Remember, we're going to do a little bit of a pair trading here. So let's go into where the E-minis are at first, okay? So the E-minis right now, we hit this 43.60 overnight action. Remember, this is a big supply area. This is like, we've been consolidating here for quite some time. The bulls need to protect this right now. They need to protect it. Unfortunately, there isn't that much good news out there that is going to, what is the good news here? It's a weekend. Damn it, it's a weekend. We got 2 days. There's a lot of stuff still out there but today, if you're gonna trade bullish, there's a couple of plays here. Maybe do some pair trades, and I have some suggestions here for you. I'm watching Tesla because Tesla's the only one that I think that has some legs if we're gonna be bullish. But 43, watch that. As far as the E-minis right now, we do need to consolidate. As I said yesterday, wouldn't buy puts. Let this climb up a little bit. It looks like it just started to swing up. I don't know how long this is going to last or if he's going to break above zero. But if it remains below zero, it's still bearish, guys. We're still in this bearish consolidation plan, even though we're kind of going sideways. I just want to know if this is going to climb back up, similar to what we did here, and just climb. And if you notice this, we'll look for a squeeze on the hourlies, and that's going to suggest for us maybe a big move coming. Remember, the big moves always come on the hourlies, but I don't see that happening. This started, immediately, yesterday, and we just collapsed about a couple of maybe 100 points on the E-minis. On the 15-minute time frame, nice basing pattern here. Again, squeezing. Let's see how far can we go. What I would suggest, not suggest, but I suspect, I guess is a better word, we probably should go up to 43.93 in the short term, and we can probably climb up to 44.03, and let's see how it reacts there. So let it come up. Amateurs are going to come and get puts right now. I wouldn't do that. I'd rather get them up, right? Again, you're much better getting the puts up here than down here, or get them closer to the 50. Okay. As far as the highest probability trade here, if I had to trade, I would say calls, but I don't know how far they're going to go up. So again, we're not getting any squeezes anywhere. And we rally pretty nice so far going into since 6:43. We rally here on the 1 minute time frame. We hit 43.91. And it looks like we're going to consolidate here for a second going into the open. So we might stay in this linger. I don't know which way we're going to go. But you are going to see some people covering, short covering. They're going to be covering, remember, they sold. They have to buy to get out of those positions. So, so we have to cover that. Okay, so. All right, I'm just looking to see if any news coming out. So we'll see. We'll see. Right now, it's just waiting game, but more calls on the high probability side, but get your puts ready for the downside. As far as the overall markets here, again, we couldn't break. This is the daily, guys. I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit. The dailies here, we have the 200-day moving average, couldn't break above that. Remember, that's a pretty firm area on the dailies on the XPX, and we're back to this consolidation area. So again, 4380, 4370. So 4370 gets taken out, then it looks like we probably can maybe go even lower. This is not going to happen all in one day. It could happen maybe in a week or two, but the Fed was not very positive yesterday. So let's see what happens. I would like this to come up, but if you're trading longer term, we like to take trades at the 50. So again, at daily at the 50, this is a high probability trade, but not for a day or not for a week, maybe a month. Give yourself some time. So if you're trading spiders, that's probably a trade for a month, right? And just kind of give yourself some time there. NASDAQ looking weaker below the 50, just couldn't break up that 50 and still working his way lower. Does it have these lows, 13,000 in the horizon? The Russell held pretty strong here. Again, couldn't break above the 50, but it's still colliding. Could it go down to 1925 and retest these levels? I think if these start breaking down, then that's going to break down too. All right. So as far as the VIX yesterday gave us a clue. We set those alerts, and that's why when the alerts hit, I was more bearish, right? Because that was my conviction. And but today we were pretty high. So as far as the lows of the last couple of weeks, we're pretty high here. So I'm going to put an alert right here because that was the high that we had this morning of 23.55. And I think if we break that, we're probably going to hit these highs right up here. And then that's telling me that more fear is entering into the marketplace. However, if we don't hit those highs, then we're probably going to, fear is going to come back down. And that means that we're probably going to rally up a little bit. I don't know how high, though. That's key. Do we rally up? Do we rally down? Do we break down? Don't know. But it is a weekend. And again, I'm going to give you a couple suggestions how we can know if we're going to rally. The Treasury notes for the day is at 2.90. So again, the high was 2.97. Not enough to pull back, but we rallied pretty significantly here. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is in like 1 point, like I said, 1.6 to 2.9. That's a severe and I think that has to do with the dollar being at risk. Okay, so let's just get into it. Overall, what are we looking at? We saw everything collapse, everything. Right in that 10 o'clock hour, Google collapsed. Now, here's the thing about Google. I started thinking about it. They're announcing a 20-to-1 stock split. Every company that come out and announced stock split, with the exception of Tesla, so far has not done well. Now, we heard the numbers from Netflix and the repercussions of Russia and how those sanctions and all that is really hurting their bottom line. Also Facebook's. And at the end of the day, who's next? Maybe Google? I don't know, just throwing that out there. Could Google maybe possibly see some repercussions of that Russian sanctions, right? Because I don't know what they've done. I don't know if they eliminated Google or YouTube or whatever. Remember, YouTube is a big advertising space for them, and it's also a membership aspect of things. Do they lose subscribers over on that side of the world as well? I don't know, but so interesting. Just putting it out there, things to know. So when their numbers come out, and I think they're coming out in a week or two, what to expect? Because if their numbers aren't well, then they're probably going to sell off. Even though they had stellar quarters, they're making money, right? But a big chunk of it was from their advertising sale. Now, Amazon, same type of thing. Amazon, remember, they came out 2 days ago and said we're going to add the fuel cost to our customers, and that should have been up, but it didn't get up. So that was a clue. Amazon wasn't acting right, and it just sold off. So we have Tesla right now at the 50. Real simple to me today. If Tesla, so let me see. I wrote this down. So if Tesla can get, let me see if was it okay. All right. So if Tesla, all right. So look at this 1027. This is when they announce earnings. So this was the peak right before their earnings, right? So if Tesla can get above 1027, I'm going to put it right there. if Tesla can get above 1027, it's probably going to go to this 10 1052. Right in here. This right here, 1052. Okay, can probably get it to 1052. If it takes to 1052, if it breaks out 1052, that means the market is bullish. But this is your bullish play, and I'll go into deeper into this. But this is what I'm looking at as far as a contrarian play. This is the only one that's done well. So if I'm going to go long, I'll probably go long Tesla, short the XPY as it comes up, and that's kind of like how I'll play. This is kind of like a pair trade type of thing. ISRG is working his way lower, CMG working his way lower. As I said, at some moment, pricing power is going to kick in, and people are going to say F you to CMG. As you can tell, they already started. Land Research, Goldman Sachs is down. Netflix is in no man's land right now. I think this has already done his deal. Bill Ackman is out. Let's see what happens. Winning by puts. Let it come up a little bit and see what happens there. Roku. Look, Roku, companies aren't making money. So moving forward, companies are not making money. It's the ones you're going to be short. So Roku hasn't made money. Their CEO has stated to you that he hasn't made money in the last couple of quarters. So, somebody's holding it. But, longer term play, and I'll write this weekend, or we'll talk about it in class. But Roku, maybe longer term, buy puts 3 months, 6 months out as it comes up, because I think this one should be like back down to like $60 or $50. So NVIDIA, we talked about this the other day. I said 209. Unfortunately, I can only have one eye. My eyes were on Tesla and was on SPY. But 209 was a big number, and it collapsed here. I think 201, if it breaks like 201. No. If it breaks this low right here, let's say 199, it probably can go to, if it breaks 199, that's a continuation pattern. It can probably go maybe 190, somewhere in there, 185. So just watch him. It got to leave there, working his way lower. Apple, watch Apple. Apple early can stay to the market's trying to get resilient. But I'm going to put it here, pre-market highs at 167, just to give me a heads up. Not going to trade it, but just want to know that it's coming back up because it's kind of going sideways. Shopify. Okay, so here's the thing with Shopify. The reason why I was looking at Shopify, and let's just go into it. Let's go to Shopify right here. Okay. So Shopify, we actually talked about this, not this past week in class, but we talked about it in not this past week, 2 weeks ago. So last week, right? Last week in class, or 2 weeks ago, we talked about Shopify and how it goes up and where it can go. And you look at it, it's at 484. And those dollar options that we talked about this week, they're worth probably $20. So this is a $20 move, but again, you only have eyes somewhere. And this is what I'm like looking long term. But here's the deal with Shopify, guys. So their CEO is like really doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Number one, when you look at the history of Shopify, they basically announce, hey, if you make under $1 million, okay, you're not going to pay any commission. Yeah, you're not going to pay any commission. Okay, so if you're not going to pay any commission, what does that mean? That means you're giving up your growth, right? And then he decides to be like Amazon and announce that he's going to build warehouses. Okay, we'll build warehouses. Well, you're nothing like Amazon, and you're building a warehouse, a brick and mortar space. Like that's extra. Like that takes time and years to operation and expensive. And then they announce a 10-to-1 stock split. Like, why would you liquidate your stock? Or, so this is the reason why, like, you see Shopify declining here. So again, the move's already done on Shopify. Let it come back up. But Shopify, this was the move yesterday here. I checked. It was funny because I forgot that I bought some 500 calls, puts from 2 weeks ago. And I checked and I was like, oh, so that was a nice little surprise that I got. Yeah, so those worked out. It wasn't a lot. It was like 5 contracts for $1, but those worked out. So yeah. So what else do I have? We have spiders. As far as spiders, what I would like to see on SPY and what's on deck here for SPY, 436. So this is the 436 level here. I do have them all under here as well, 432, and I think that we can 432, 431 is a possibility if we break that. I don't know if that's going to happen. There's a big supply zone right here. I have the level at 435. If we hit that, ideally we're coming to the end here. Now, what happens here? Is this an exhaustion sell off that's going to break through here and possibly maybe 10, 20 points down here, maybe, or does it consolidate, come up? I mean, this moving average is coming up in the 50-minute time frame. Let's see how it reacts to that 438, right? If it breaks through. So I'm going to have some level here. I'm going to have an alert there, 438. If it breaks through, then we're probably going to climb higher. If we climb higher, we're probably going to go into this 440, 440.30 right in there, 441, and see if we can bounce there, or do we come back up to the 50 at 443? Don't know, but ideally, if we do come up, and we start getting a squeeze here, pre-market, and we see Tesla run, Tesla breaks that 1027. That's going to tell me that possibly we see Apple climb, and we see the 5. Tell me this could be a squeeze up to those levels right here, maybe to 440, 441. Don't know if that's going to happen, or do we stay sideways, indecision, and then is the market going to stay in this range until the big tech announces within a week or two? That is a possibility, and hear what they say. And the reason why we dropped, guys, when you really look at it, I just realized this is the first time we've been hearing 50 basis points from everyone, every governor, every person on TV, but we haven't heard it from Powell himself. He was the first time that he said 50 basis point coming out of his mouth. And I think the market kind of reacted, and they're like, oh, snap, this is real. So again, that's the only thing I can say. Futures are going down right now, 437 right now. So we're seeing. So again, we have about another 45 minutes into the open. So if this collapses here, just know we have 45 candles, right? So doesn't mean that we're probably going to go down. If we collapse, we're probably going to go to this level, 436, retest that, see what happens there, and then we're going to see if this is a continuation. Now, what I mean by continuation, we're bouncing off the 50, going lower. We break 436, then we go lower, and this is an exhaustion sell-off, maybe to this 431 level. Again, lower probability type of trade because a big move already happened, and you're going to see at some moment buyers come in, and I don't know where, because they're going to take these guys out. But that is what possibly could happen. So if you're in some puts and trying to get out, and you want to get out, maybe expiring today, then maybe there will be a time in the morning that you probably should get out at the open, and then look for a reversal trade. So now what I'm adding here, guys, so today is the 22nd. I'm going to be adding I'm looking for May 6th calls and puts. So those are going to be on my screen right now. May 6th. You can do what you want to do. I'm going to add May 6 calls and puts. That's around 2 weeks from today. So I'm going to add those onto my screen, and I'll be working with those. So what am I adding? I'm going to be adding probably, I don't know what they're going for. I can't watch them because my computer's up, but I'm looking for about the $3-4 range, and I suspect they're probably going to be around 430, 428, somewhere in there. So I'll be looking for that. Just they're going to be on the screen. On the upside, I'll probably be looking at those are probably around 445, 450 in that range. So those are going to be on the screen, and again for 2 weeks out. But right now, going into this, looks like it probably wants to collapse. The move has already happened. This is coming to the end at some moment. So again, we're not not really like a super. We're too far away from the 50 on the hourlies here. Ideally, we could have an exhaustion sell. That'd be nice, and then we get out of those puts. or does it reverse here? Does it consolidate, reverse? So we'll know. Just watch it today. There should be a big move. And the key question today is, do they sell it into the weekend, right? Again, that's always a Friday thing. And what's our Lotto Friday? So that could be a play here. So let's see. Let's see what happens here. But we have them on 2. We don't have them on 3. Ideally, let's see how this reacts here. Does it go sideways? Consolidate, consolidate, consolidate. This sets up the 50 day comes down a little bit, meets up with that, and then we'll see what happens today. Maybe at 10 o'clock, maybe 11. The market will decide. But overall, the overnight action was okay. Wasn't too bad. I mean, the global markets didn't sell off that hard. We just kind of stayed in this area. So what happens at the cash open? Do we sell off, or do we continue going lower? The VIX is climbing right now a little bit. So that's right there. Okay. So that's for spiders. On Tesla, we're looking for right at the 50 here. Squeeze right there, and this is sold off pretty good. So let's see for reversal, maybe up to that 1017, squeezing right here. Key level here is 1024, 1027. If we can take out 1027, because that's where the announcement here announced, and they pulled back and then broke through. So that is going to be a point where I'm going to see buyers probably go through. So 1027. And again, if Tesla breaks through, then you got this consolidated at 1051. This is the pre-market yesterday where it decided to just take off. And then it could probably go higher to 1091. If you see Tesla go above 1051, then the market is robust, and this would be your bullish play. So if you're looking for a bullish play, this is it. This is it. And play them to the levels, okay? And this is pair trade, right? There goes the e-minis. All right, Shopify, nothing really there. Just kind of too far away. Let it come back up. So nothing really there for today. Well, actually, if we climb here, if we climb, yeah, why would we go up? That's the only problem. I don't see why would we go up, but you never know. You never know. 500 is pretty strong, so 481 to 500. There's better plays out there. Let's look at the Qs. The Qs. Q is squeezing, selling off here pre-market. Coming to the end. Probably going to linger in here for a little bit. Coming to the end here, is this going to be a rally up, right? Or does it stay sideways right in here? So we'll know if it takes out 335 on the Qs. Or does it an exhaustion sell here? So I'm not interested in adding puts at these levels, guys. So that's just be clear. If we add them here, this is an entry here, but this is an exhaustion sell, and it'll be short-lived. So again, you got to train it for a point, 2 points real quick, unless I don't suspect that we're probably gonna, unless doom and gloom hits. IWM, once again, same type of format here. We are working our way lower. Since we're working our way lower into the open, we got another 36 candles. So look for a squeeze reversal back up to this level here, 197. So again, coming to the end here, this could be an exhaustion. So we're not quite there yet, but we're getting close. Anything else here that I want to look at? So Tesla's the only one that it's pretty simple. Tesla's the only one that looks reasonably good, and maybe Apple, but Apple doesn't move that much. Roku, right? Let's look at Roku just to kind of. Roku is just, they're in a world of trouble if you ask me. Like Apple, they come out. Yeah, Roku's in a world of trouble here. This is a descending triangle right here. It looks like it probably has. It looks like it probably has 50. It has 50 in the future for Roku. $50 in the future, and they have earnings on the. They missed. They have negative 19. They missed. If Netflix came out and said, they're doing bad, and I can only imagine what Roku's going to do. Facebook also descending triangle, 186. I don't know if this is going to break, but 186 pre-market is at 190, so I guess we're rallying up here. 190. So, and Netflix and these guys announced next week as well. So next week is going to be, does the market wait for the big boys? All right. So for today, it's pretty simple. Tesla up, and SPY down. I like it to come back up a little bit. Let's see what happens. Maybe Tesla drives it up, but there's not that much good news. I don't know where, I don't know. Look for the squeeze plays here, guys. Look for the squeeze plays. Again, what do I have on the list? I have my 445s. I have the 450s on the list for the upside, and downside I have the 430s. But right now, if I had to take a guess, I'm going to say more probability of calls today, right? Because we sold off pretty hard. I would like this to come back up and then wait for the close to see what happens. Lunchtime, let's see if people want to get out at lunch or after lunch. But at the first in the morning, I don't know. I think it's probably going to take people out. Be careful. All right, so that's all we got, guys. Go out there, go get it. If you want to sign up for the Patreon, go out there, give out a lot of information. We're beefing it up. Giving you the actually review of all the plays that we did, or the entries for the day on Patreon. And those are in a video on Patreon. So everything's on Patreon right now. We're just kind of putting everything out there. Everything's to help you make better decisions for your trades. All right, guys. I am going to take off. I'll see you guys at the open chat. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.